What is up, boys and girls? My name is Alan Bell. Welcome into Driving the Nightline. And, dude, already a phenomenal day of baseball so far. We've got two boys here. I got one in the studio, one in the deer stand. I like it. All right. Mosh, you're our leadoff hitter. Big dog, let it rip. What you got?
All right, let's go. First off, we're going to the Braves again. Boston's visiting Atlanta. Listen, Braves just had like a rough doubleheader, but they came back yesterday. I really think that they continue this offense here. I took the Braves first 7, team total over 3.5 at a very high price at minus 140. But listen, Lucas Giolito is going to regress after his best outing. He just went 7 shutout innings against the Orioles, and his metrics just don't show that he's really there. Braves offense look unlocked with Acuna back in it. I'm just going to highlight 2 metrics that I really wanted to fade on Giolito. He has an expected batting average at 290 and an expected slugging percentage at 512. It's going to be a rough start for him here. Next up, we're going to go to the Nationals, the Diamondbacks. Listen, I'm never going to take the Diamondbacks. I shouldn't say never. I'm not going to look to take the Diamondbacks to win any game anymore. It's like a cat on a hot tin roof. Just don't go there. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks. Team total over 4.5, also at a high price, but I think it's worth it. Minus 137. Listen, I like picking on Nationals Jake Irving. He's also coming off his best outing, going 8 shutout innings, only allowing 3 hits to the Orioles. And although he appears like he's pitching consistently good, his metrics are terrible, and I fully expect him to regress here. When you take a look at people like him, if you're taking a look at StatCast or Baseball Savant, and you see that their metrics are terrible across the board, except for their walk rate, be extremely aware that the reason usually why their walk rate is so good is because instead of walking people, people are hitting them. And this is a perfect example of it. Next up, we're going to the Cardinals at the Rangers. Cardinals first 5 money line at minus 120. I like Matthew Liberatore here. He has let up 2 runs or fewer in his last 8 starts. And I like fading Jack Leiter, who has given up multiple runs in 5 out of his last 6 games. Cardinals are 5th in OPS against righties and 13th on the road in runs scored in the first 5. Rangers rank in the bottom 3 in scoring runs in their first 5s. So last but not least, we got the Twins at the Mariners. Mariners also first 5. This one I had to take the money line on win only at minus 105. I like Brian Wu here at home. He has a .93 home ERA, and I'm going to continue fading Zebby Matthews until he can prove us wrong. Seattle is going to bounce back here from a 9-3 brutal loss to the Nationals last night in overtime. Let's get them, and definitely follow my picks. I have 6 more picks on the slate tonight, and we just cashed one in the Cubs game, so let's keep it going.
Where do we follow you at?
Let's Rise Low on Twitter or X. You'll be able to find my Substack articles through there, and everything is pretty clearly laid out. So, yeah, come enjoy the fun.
All right, perfect, man. Big Greg, throwing it over you, buddy. What you got, man?
Taking college baseball all over today. Regional Fridays have begun, and huge slate throughout this entire weekend with the double elimination tournament going. We start with Florida State and Bethune-Cookman over 15.5. This one I like for a couple ways. I think that Florida State, I think they're able to get there on their own possibly. However, Bethune's been pretty darn good offensively. I question what Florida State's going to do with that pitching staff, making sure they're protected, making sure that they've got everybody ready for not only this weekend, but next weekend. So wouldn't be surprised if Bethune put up a few late. Like we also talked about earlier in the week on the show, is there are no 10-run rules. So overs are always in play and always a risk. Next game we'll go to is Cal Poly on the money line. Like them going up against Arizona today. Cal Poly with a couple big wins to grab the Big West tournament title, got them into this regional, and I think that they're in a really nice position to handle another West Coast team in Arizona. And finally, my darling UTSA, the Roadrunners, with our 20-1 future that they've cashed for us with the AAC tournament title, regular season title, excuse me. We'll stick with them again today. Going up against Kansas State, I like UTSA. I think it's a very reasonable number. I think they'll put continual pressure on the Wildcats, and I will take them on the money line.
Nice, man. Well done. Now, all right. So behind me, you probably can't see too fully well. Hold on. All right. So if you like saturation, okay, you have got USC against TCU, which is already a phenomenal uniform matchup. All right. Against everything bright orange in Corvallis for Oregon State. It is just colors popping everywhere, man. It looks good. Dude, we've had some awesome games so far. The Knoxville Regional is on absolute fire. And let me say, I don't have any picks on this show because I've given you 24 of them over the last 2 days. So I'm not going to have you. If anybody's betting $100 a unit, I'm asking you to put $2,400 down in bet. So I'm going to calm it down on that one. But we've got some awesome games going on. North Carolina against Holy Cross. They hang tight 4-0. Texas up 2-0 on Houston Christian. East Carolina and Florida. East Carolina all over Florida. Last I saw was 11-3. Cincinnati and Wake Forest. We talked about it. All right. In that Knoxville Regional. It is Mash City. It's 10-5 already at the end of the 5th inning. There are runs all over the place, man. What else do we have? East Tennessee State and Louisville, 2-2 in Nashville in the bottom of the 4th. Yeah, I mean, we got games going, and we just started, man. Like, we have so many. Miami and Alabama just kicked off. Just, well, I don't even know how you say it. First pitch, I guess. Same thing with Kentucky, West Virginia. We had a weather delay in that. We got a couple weather delays over there. Oh, Spell Dog. Okay, so I just saw your comment in Discord right before the show started, and he said, "Take cover, Vandy Hospital." Dude, you're so true. And Spell Dog's comment was, if the weather and the mashing in the Knoxville Regional is the same it is in Nashville, which is pretty similar, that hospital in right field is going to get smashed, and it is. Oh, home runs are headed your way. Also, dude, I don't know what uniforms Kansas is wearing today against Creighton, Spell, but if Kansas at any moment rocks those light blues, dude, those are ridiculously awesome. Awesome. Tina, happy weekend. So good to see you. Hope you're doing well, Tina. Let's see. 3 sticks. My man said Mystics plus money. All right, there we go. What else we got? Z-Money DK didn't have it. Game already started. Said I got rid of Florida months ago. Yeah. What's up, man?
Question on. So I have always kind of liked playing live lines a little bit. Like I'll sprinkle at pregame, but usually college baseball doesn't have live lines available, but they do right now. Would you consider taking Florida at plus 7.5 at plus 160 at all? Oh, it's already top of the 9th. All right.
No.
Sorry.
No. You ask a good question, though. You ask a good question. College baseball live betting is great. And there are some folks in the chat that do it unbelievably consistently and consistently well. Now, yeah, with your question, I wouldn't obviously, the innings and all that. But if you are good at live betting, which most you are, very good, college baseball is your jam. Like, you ask a great question. And for anybody that is new, that is just getting into college baseball, if you are a live bettor, college baseball is absolutely, because there is no lead that is safe in the sport. Greg will tell you, he played college baseball, pitched like there. And I'm not saying that against a pitcher. What I'm saying is that college baseball, until it is done, is never, ever over. Greg, your thoughts, anything that you have on that?
Yeah, I mean, metal bats and weak bullpens. And, we have ECU at 9-1 for that regional future. And, it really came about getting through today's game. And, not only does it look good so far, but got a really deep starting pitching, opportunity, which we talked about earlier. And if you, get yourself into trouble early, especially even in a game 1 like this, you've set yourself up for big issues, especially if you're coming out of the losers bracket. So, we'd watching this morning, and within the first, third of an inning, you're already seeing issues with Florida. They went to the bullpen early. I think they've used 7 or 8 pitchers already. And, at least they're saving guys for the long term, but, at what cost? They're going to be coming out of the losers bracket, and it's going to be a struggle no matter what. So you always have to protect that staff long term. And, I with ECU, I liked what I'd seen from them as a team. And more than anything, I liked offensively what I'd seen from them, especially on the road, since I knew they weren't going to be a host.
Yep. Great points. An excellent point of what you said in regards to coming out of the losers bracket. So how it works is all 64 teams play today. Okay. So you're going to have 2 teams tomorrow that both won, and you're going to have 2 teams tomorrow that both lost. Double elimination. So tomorrow, somebody's going home in the morning, right? We're going to take a fourth of this out of here. Gone, right? Mel's, look at Melanie Sue, the minister of culture. Our girl isn't feeling well and still made it. Melanie, well done. Hope you do get to feeling better. Father Will asks, Greg, are you a UNCG guy? He is. He is. Yep. Bingo. Former arm and ace over there. On and hard. All right. But yeah, so understand tomorrow. So we're going to have 2 games at each regional host today, and we'll have 2 games at each regional host tomorrow. And you're going to have tomorrow morning teams playing to stay alive, to be done. So starting tomorrow, there is no tomorrow. You what you saw from the Knicks last night, that awesome performance, right? Like you're going to see teams backs against the wall, both of them. Then you're also going to see teams that, are 1-0, that have a game that they can mess around with. Now, the team that wins tonight and the team that wins tomorrow, they're set up for Sunday to where you're going to have to beat them twice. So tomorrow morning, you're going to have an 0-1 team against an 0-1 team and a 1-0 team against a 1-0 team. Okay. Then Sunday, you're going to have a 2-1 or a 1-1 team against a 1-1 team for the right that night, Sunday night, to play the team that's 2-0. If the team that's 2-0 loses, they will play Monday. Because I know I just threw out a whole lot at you, but that's how it works. Whoever gets to Sunday 2-0, you're going to have to beat them twice, right? So they're going to play a game at night to win it all, to win the regional. If they win that game, they're 3-0. They've won it. All other 3 teams double eliminated and out. If the 2-0 team loses Sunday night, all right, you're going to have those 2 same teams play again on Monday. If you have teams get to Monday, understand, all right, that team that lost first is going to be down to it with pitching because they've had to stay alive. 2, right? They've had to play 2 games where their backs were against the wall to where you have to throw everything that you have because you have to win. You cannot lose 2 games or you're done. So pay attention to that. And we'll explain it as we go. All right. Tomorrow we'll break down the elimination game that we have in the morning in every single regional. And then we'll lay out, right, what they're looking at Saturday night, right, for the 1-0 teams. And then Sunday, potentially, for what you have. So I hope that makes sense. We'll go through it. Look at Louisville. 2 runs here in the bottom of the 4th, and Nashville still going. Let's go, baby. All right. So Tizzle, another former pitcher. He gets it. If you make it to Monday, the losers bracket, you'll be pulling guys off the street to get out. So that's 100% right. Tizzle, dude, Tizzle and Mattson, you might be seeing them on Monday throwing. All right. School's going to be picking them up, giving them a call. So if they're not on the show, in the chat, yeah, all arms available, 100%. Yeah, what up?
We just saw this with the Guardians last week. They used their bullpen to such an extreme. And sorry if I'm bringing it back to MLB.
No. It works. It works. Keep going.
But the Guardians had, a 3-game series, right? 4-game series against the Tigers, and they went all out against their division rivals, right? They went all out. They used their best pitching. They got their best performances. They had a doubleheader. They really went all out, and then they got creamed by the Dodgers. Not even close. They had absolutely no arm left.
That's a great comparison. I'm glad that you said it because that's how it is. And again, So you're going to see some teams today that are big favorites that don't have to throw their ace. And if they could score runs and get up, man, they're in a great spot. I'll tell you who's in a great spot is North Carolina. They didn't have to do much. They win 4-0 against Holy Cross. Didn't have to use too many arms. All right. Yeah, offensive production wasn't great, but didn't have to be great. The point is that they got the win, unscathed, get out of there, and you got one under your belt. Like, those are the teams to pay attention to today that don't have to do a whole lot. On the opposite side, pay attention to teams that are back and forth. Like this Cincinnati-Wake Forest game, pay attention to it. Have you noted Wake Forest? It was 8-0 in the second inning. Cincinnati was up, but they kept their guy on. All right, they kept their starter in because they know it is a gauntlet to get through this thing, especially if you lose. So, excuse me. So pay attention to teams today and tonight. All right, that have to throw a lot of dudes, and especially if tomorrow they're facing whoever faces North Carolina tomorrow. If they have to go, Mel said, "Come on and raise up, take your shirt off." Yeah, like whoever has to go and throw a lot of arms tonight. Yeah, I mean it's going to be tough. Tizzle, UNC starter went 8 1/3, a win and arrested. Massive. That you could not ask for a better start. And what you're going to see out of that is 1s versus 4s. These 2 versus 3s could be wars. Not all of them. You might see teams do that, and you might see 1 seeds that struggle. I mean, it's the regionals, man. Anything can happen. But yeah, like Greg said, Tizzle said right there, like North Carolina, that is the perfect start to tournament baseball. That's exactly what you want, because your starter, you want him to go as long as possible in game 1. You want to, because you're not going to get to use him anyway. And quite frankly, you don't want to. You don't want to get to the point that you would have to even think about doing it. You want him to go have a great game. 8 1/3 is massive. Bring in a closer, shut the thing down, out of there. Didn't have to use anybody in the bullpen. Everybody's rested. Quick game. That's exactly what you want, man. Like, that is a perfect start. Okay, we'll get out of here. Mosh, any final thoughts before the weekend, buddy?
No, but I'm going to have another massive slate tomorrow, so please follow me. And yeah, let's have fun cashing these tickets together. You know what? I just can't resist it. I'm going to give out 2 quick plays. It's the Dodgers and Yankees. Like, how do you not?
I feel you. Let it rip. You good?
And the line moved. I wasn't so excited about it first, but like the line moved.
Hey,
so
I'm getting the water anyway. Keep going. Let it rip.
I'm taking the Yankees first inning money line at -120 on Caesars. Okay. Max Fried hasn't allowed a run once this season yet, and Gonsolin has like a 5.14 ERA in the first inning, I believe. And I'm also taking the Yankees first 5 money line at -135. I'm gonna really fade Gonsolin until he can prove that he could pitch with the big boys, and I'm gonna keep backing Max Fried for as long as I can. He is on a tear, and I think he has a solid shot at being the Cy Young. And maybe that's just because he's from New York, but
hey, I enjoyed Max Fried in Atlanta a lot. I'm a big Max Fried guy. Dude's a stud, absolute stud. Greg, any final thoughts for the weekend, man?
Yeah, I was trying to see if it was still available. I couldn't quite find it. Play of the year is out for us. We also have a max play going for regional play. And it's going to be another massive weekend. We have, multiple plays going already. Al and I were talking yesterday. There's regional plays across the board, and 32 games today, and endless action through the weekend. So it's pick your poison. There's definite profit all over the place. So look forward to seeing everybody again soon, and enjoy your weekend.
Absolutely, man. Look, we got 32 games today. We got 32 games tomorrow. Dude, it's going to be awesome, man. Cannot wait. My boy, DT. Anybody like Oregon, UC Irvine, Tennessee, Kansas, Stetson, or Clemson over? I'd have to see what those numbers are at right now.
Ball's flying in Tennessee.
It's flying. And I'll tell you this. Tennessee's throwing Liam Doyle tonight. They're number 1. And if you saw on ESPN.com, there's an article that the number 1 overall pick in the draft is either going to be a high school stud or Liam Doyle, right? He's that good. And he's throwing tonight against Miami of Ohio. I don't know how Miami of Ohio is going to hit him, but it would behoove Tennessee to score 1,000 runs today. Everything comes down to them hitting, and I know Tony Vitello's been on their ass, right? And look, let me say this. Miami of Ohio's got a stud too. Yeah, Tizzle. Ethan Holiday, the in the draft, right? Which, I mean, you just take a look at that last name. I mean, them boys been doing it. But Miami of Ohio's got a stud pitcher too. And I would be careful with that Tennessee over. I'm on the Kansas Creighton. I think that's going to be a war. So for me, that's the choice. Anything beyond tonight for Tennessee on overs, I'm in. But tonight could be tough because Miami of Ohio's got it. They got a stud too. So
I would say DBU Rhode Island is also another over.
Yes.
I would look at those there. DBU has some good starting staff and some guys that can go, but I mean, their offense can fly, and we know Rhode Island can hit, and they're scrappy too. They know how to score runs. So 13, it seems low.
You know what? I agree with you. I like that one, and I like Kansas Creighton. So, yeah, DT, my boy, answer your question. Those are the two. All right, we'll get out of here. Everybody, have a wonderful rest of the start of regionals, MLB, all of it. For all of us here, thanks so much. We'll see you live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Until then, everybody, best of luck. Cash these tickets. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us?